I currently live in Massachusetts, where I've spent a good part of my life thus far. As beautiful as it is here, it's just about time to move on. The only question is, to where? What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be breaking down where I think, in my opinion, is the best place to move to as a 23-year-old or any type of young person, early 20s, old teens, or anything like that sort, and where I think personally is best for me. So I broke it down, you see here, broke it down to the places I think are the top 4, which go from the left to right: LA, New York, Miami, and Boston. So I do currently live in Massachusetts right now, but not in the actual Boston city, a little bit outside. And yeah, let's get it going. So I have looked within each of these places in terms of rent prices, because I know that's important to a lot of people, excuse me. And it seems that they're generally all going to be around the same. I did find that LA actually does have some cheaper rent prices, but then you're on the other side of some of the other things, maybe a little bit more expensive. So there's a trade-off between that, between New York, Boston, and Miami. I've actually found that the rents are relatively similar, and probably Miami being the best of those 3, but it's not very far off. They're all pretty close in that regard. So the next thing that I really thought to break down would be the weather. So obviously New York and Boston, you're gonna get the 4 seasons, you get the whole 9 yards, everything. LA and Miami, you're gonna get more of that warm weather all year round. So it really depends on what you like in that regard. I have grown up in Massachusetts, so obviously with the 4 seasons, but I do prefer the warmth. So that did play a little bit of a role in my decision, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the seasons. I think it's actually pretty cool, but I think the warm weather is something that's more of attuned to where I am at this point in my life. That is not a deal breaker though. So on to the next point. So the next point that would be important to me is popularity to do things such as skateboarding, basketball, things that I enjoy like that, activities that kind of outside that are more acceptable, which I gotta say, in terms of skateboarding, California is obviously a big one, New York's, but I don't think there's any type of holdback from Miami or Boston to those. I know Miami, there's a lot of scootering around, but I think skateboarding is not too far off from that. Basketball seems to be a pretty big thing accepted throughout all of them, so they're all pretty neck and neck in that regard. So that doesn't really give me much of a weight towards my decision. I think you're going to be pretty golden no matter where you go within these 4 cities to be able to do anything like that. So the next point of focus for me would be the lifestyle. So each city definitely has a very different lifestyle to it. So it really depends on what you're interested in. Boston's got a little bit more of a sports type city, very heavy on that. It's very fast moving city. New York, everything's constantly going on. City never sleeps. Miami, very warm, a lot of beach vibes, a lot of outside people doing activities, working out at the beach. And LA, you get a lot of that same type of vibe. I actually never been to the West Coast towards LA, so I can't really speak fully on that, but from what I know, a lot of that same type of outdoor kind of working out at the beach type of vibe. So that weighs in a factor for me. So I typically prefer the outside type of vibe. If you like something a little bit quicker, or something that's always busy, always something to do, always a new place to eat, New York, Boston might be your spot. Outside places, LA, Miami. Miami is very nice in terms of there's always people walking around, a lot of gym inspired people. And what I mean by that, just see people working out or just people going on runs. It's always some type of exercise thing related seemingly when you're going around there. So that's very important to me. I do like the whole beach vibe. I've grown up near beaches my whole life, so I do like to still be around beaches. So Miami and LA both have that solid in the bank. If you want more of a city vibe, which I do like, New York and Boston both provide that pretty solidly. So it's a lot of decisions, a lot of different factors to weigh in here. And with all of that put together, I think I'm finally ready to give my answer.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm gonna be taking my talents to